and I'm really enjoying it.
What's hard to start again?
You know.
You know, the music business is different right now.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't.
Different than the 80s.
I stay away from the music business now. You know, I don't. The last record I did, Eternal Black Dawn, I paid for myself, and I just licensed it out to people. The new record, I'm not even going to license. I'm going to just find distributors. So I stay away from the music business because that's very difficult to deal with. It makes me very angry. So I just stay away from the business, the record business, and all that now. And I just put out a live record on my own label, and I will never be on a label again. I will just find people to distribute it, and that way I'm very happy. You know, not to be jerked with all the time. So, you know, if I had to be in the music business and deal with all the labels and the managers and all that crap, I might not be doing it anymore. But if I can keep that out of the way, I'm very happy. You know, I'm very happy to work on my own stuff. I have my own studio. You know, and I just want to develop my label and at some point, have other bands on my label. You know, bands that I can treat, with some respect and not lie to and steal from. You know. So yeah, I'm enjoying it right now, but I would not want to be in the music business. I'd stay away from that as far as possible.
So the Omen fans right now in 2009, what can you expect with the new Omen material, the new Omen release?
Yes, I have.
I heard something about a new.
Yes, I have
album.
Music done for 6 of the 9 songs. You know, not the vocals yet, but a lot of the music, and I've worked very hard on it to try to make it a cross between the energy of Battle Cry and the technical end of Like the Curse.
Power metal, epic metal.
Yeah, epic metal, very epic, and just try really
keep the real roots.
The real roots of it. For me, I wanted to be like the record that should have came out right after the Curse. You know,
that's how we love it.
That's been my goal for some time, and so I'm hoping so far I think it's in that direction. You know, I think the songs are really strong.
It's gonna be that album. It will be a self-production, or you are under a label?
No, I will not be under a label ever again.
Is it difficult to get a contact? Get a deal?
No, it's not. I can have a deal tomorrow.
Well, not fair that.
Yeah, I can get deals. I've always been able to get a deal. You know, I could get on the internet and contact some people and have 5 labels tomorrow. I don't want a label anymore. You know, it's just having to deal with all of that politics behind that. I'd rather sell fewer copies and be in control of it, and know what happens with it, and not have to go through a bunch of politics, like I said. You know, so I won't do a label. It'll be my label. I would just find distributors around the world to release it.
Okay, because the old school songs is coming again.
Yes,
like a thrash metal.
Yeah. It's amazing to me, and
it's like a cycles.
It's cycles, and what's amazing to me is I would have people on the internet, 20-year-old girls, in Italy or Germany or someplace or Greece, and they will email me and they'll go, look at my site, and I'll go to their site, and their song for their site, their theme song is Battle Cry. And I'm thinking, wow, you're 20 years old, I am almost 55. I made those songs.
Against 22 years.
Yes, and you were not born for a long time before those songs came out, and so yeah, it is a cycle. But you know what? To me, it's very rewarding because I thought when I was making this music, when I was making it with John and everyone, that we were making something that was really special,
Okay.
And it's, and now it is proved to me now, if a 20-year-old girl, 25 years after that record came out, thinks this is her favorite record, or a 20-year-old guy, or how many, I get constant emails and letters of musicians who say, I play guitar because of you. That puts tears in my eyes. So it is cycling back, and I think, in the long run, we did do something special.
Okay. Yeah. So now, how's the tour going right now in this moment?
Excuse me?
How's the tour going?
The tour is going very well right now, and it's been a lot easier for us. I mean, the shows, most of them have been really, really good.
You play in Brazil?
Yes, we play in Brazil. Yeah,
5 weeks, I think.
20 shows in Brazil.
Wow.
And the only bad thing was
it's another war, Brazil.
Yeah, but traveling, we travel like insane. Sometimes play, get on the bus, drive 23 hours. Play again, get on the bus, drive another 20 hours. So the traveling
like in
Brazil,
the old times.
Yeah, all the time. It was very brutal, but since we've gotten out of Brazil, and the shows are a little farther apart, and we've been flying some, and you know, I couldn't be happier. I mean,
Yeah, you had very good feedbacks in Argentina.
All of the shows. I mean, you know, the crowd response is. I think the two best shows were Belém in Brazil, where the crowd was just insane, and Argentina was awesome. You know, we've had lots of other good shows, but those are the two in my mind that stand out the most.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
So future projects,
Future projects?
next tour.
Next tour, yeah, well, the touring's really not stopping. Like I said, we leave here, and then I will go with the other lineup, you know, to Germany and Greece for 1 month, you know, and then try to come home and finish the record. And then we have a show in Norway in January, and you know, in the spring, Spain and France, and you know, and a big festival in Germany in the next summer. So just keep going. Just full speed Omen for me now.
Wow.
I've taken everything else out of my life and just made everything for Omen.
Since 1983 till now, there are a lot of years. Okay.
Yes.
What will be your advice for a young musician?
You know, my advice for any musician is just to play what's in your heart. You know, to play what's in your heart and work at it. You know, I'm very much a workaholic, and I right now when I'm at home, I'm working 18 or 20 hours a day in the studio on my songs. But you know, you have to play something that's from your heart, because if you don't, eventually that shows. You know, you may jump on a bandwagon, as they say, just try to follow some style, and I want to be just like this band. But if you want to have a long career like I have, I think you have to make your own sound. You know, you can't make a career off of sounding like someone else. You know, and that's my advice: is to play. You know, work very hard at it. You know, and play what's in your heart.
It's like, you know, keep it true and keep it real. I mean, my advice, I can tell for the musicians, like, you know, like Kenny said, you know, just play from your heart, play from inside. Then you, from there, you can create your own sound. Just keep it true, keep it real.
It's true.
You know, a couple of times in my career, I've tried to take advice from producers and things, and it's always turned out to be bad. You know, so I don't. You know, I just try to play from, you know, what's inside of me now.
Any last word for your worldwide fans?
Yes, well, you know what? I love my fans. You know, it's a lot of people tell me I'm crazy because when I'm finished playing, I'm in the crowd, you're hugging people, having a beer, signing, and you know, the fans are my friends and my family. You know, I never try to be, you know, the rock star. I hate a rock star who thinks he's some arrogant and I'm above no one. You know, I'm above no one else. I'm just a guy who loves to play guitar and write songs, and I, you know, enjoy being, like I said, with my family, because the fans are family to me. They're not fans; they're my family.
It's like we are fans of our fans. You know, it's beautiful because after a show, there's nothing way better than, you know, just get into the crowd, say hi, you know, have
make
a drink,
pictures,
take pictures, everything, you know, hugs, and you know, that's what's real metal about. You know, that's what being a musician is all about. You know, not the stereotype of, oh, I'm a rock star, I don't want to deal with this guy, you know, later. No, you don't do that to the fans. And the fans, they want to hug you, they want to do anything, sign autograph, or have beer, a lot of photos and all that. You know, like I said, it's more than a family. It's like, I don't know how to describe it.
Something special.
Yeah, very special for us.
So we will have Omen for a lot of years.
We'll have Omen until I can't do it anymore, and I'm feeling pretty good for my age. I think I got a lot left, you know.
Battle Cry Forever.
Battle Cry Forever. You know, if the last thing, if I drop dead on stage playing Battle Cry when I'm 70 years old, I will die with a smile on my face.
All right. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Metal.
Metal Mania.
Hell yeah.
Very cool.